News 46. Local coverage you can count on.
I was so upset after my car crash, I didn't know what to do. I was referred to Affiliated Chiropractic and Affiliated Physical Therapy. They coordinated my insurance agent, recommended a good attorney, and they even knew a good body shop. From my police report to my complete rehabilitation, it was like having a car accident expert at my side.
Whether your pain is from a recent accident or just something you've been suffering with for years,
our full-service clinic can help you live pain-free again.
Dr. Ron, one of the things, popular issues that's over the last couple months was the SOPA and the PIPA bill, and how they were stopped basically by the American people getting up and saying, hey, leave my internet alone. What do you have to say about that? I noticed you were one of the only candidates to black out your own website.
Right. And and also I was the only Republican that signed letters to try to stop that. But I use that as an example of why we shouldn't be too despondent about changing our government. Because when the people wake up and they speak out, they can get the attention of Congress. So I would say that with a non-interventionist constitutional foreign policy, not only would we save a lot of money, we'd save ourselves creating more enemies, and we could spend more money on our national defense. We might defend, say, our borders to the south of us, and rather than worrying about the borders between Afghanistan and Pakistan.
And now you've predicted the fall of the American dollar. We read about that. Are there steps that the American people can take to avoid such a thing?
The only thing they can do is reject the notion that the government is their salvation. They have to reject the idea that entitlements are rights. Sounds like it should be a right if you're entitled to something.
Right.
But your individuals have an entitlement or a right to their life and their liberty. And I think they should have a right to keep what they earn, but they don't have a right to their neighbor's property. So this idea that government can provide free housing or free education or free medical care or free food is impossible, because they have to use force and violence through the tax code to take from one group and redistribute it. And it sounds like, oh, well, just give up a little freedom and they're going to create all this prosperity. But the tragedy is it ends up like the housing bubble. They try to give everybody a free house, and the people they were trying to help ended up with no house at all or a job.
Terrible.
So that's why it's a total failure.
It's a shame. And now just one more question. It's been said that you want to close the doors of the IRS. Do you feel like this is something you can actually accomplish if elected? I mean, won't you meet with ridiculous amounts of resistance in Washington?
Oh, there would be, and one individual can't do it.
Yeah.
But I think according to the rallies that we have and the sentiment and the economic facts of life is we can't continue to do what we do. So I think we have to reassess our entitlement system and our foreign policy. And we have to reassess the monetary policy, because that's an incentive. The IRS is a culprit, but the IRS doesn't even collect enough money, so they just keep printing money. So the government keeps growing. So the people have to decide what they think the role of government ought to be. They think the role of government absolutely has to take care of people from cradle to grave, and we have this absolute moral imperative that we police the world and get involved in every war. No, you can't get rid of we're going to just spend ourselves until we have runaway inflation, destroy the money, and we're on a foolhardy course.